Check out this piece of art. Be honest. If you saw this in a museum, would you stop? Yeah, me neither. And yet I've stood in front of paintings and thought, I could do that. Admit it, you have too. So the question is, can AI take one of my works of art and turn me into Monet? Let's find out on today's episode of AI for Everyone. Welcome to AI for Everyone. I'm Joel Comm. This is the show that makes AI easy, useful, and fun. And this is going to be super fun today. Back in my 20s, I was a disc jockey, which meant I worked at night. And so my days were very free. And one time I was flipping through PBS and I came across Bob Ross. Yeah, we all know Bob Ross. He was an absolute legend. The man had a way of making art very approachable, and he made you feel like, yeah, you can do this too. So I went out and bought paints and an easel and brushes, and I recorded episodes of Bob Ross's The Joy of Painting on my VCR. And then I would hit play and then pause and go ahead and try to replicate what Bob had done on the television. Now, let's face it, brushwork is a lot harder than it looks. Blending doesn't always blend for me. Perspective, I'm not great at it. And sometimes the paint didn't dry the way I wanted it to. I wish I were better. I went to museums and I thought, what if I just had more talent? So today, I'm going to cheat, and you can too. Here's the setup. We're going to take some of my amateur paintings and I'm going to ask AI to turn them into masterpieces. So let's start with my first attempts. This is when I was watching Bob Ross. We're talking 35, 40 years ago. Of course, he always painted mountains and happy little clouds and forests where there would be squirrels running around. And so this one here was one of my mountain scenes. When I saw him do this one, I thought, wow, this is cool. This is the Northern Lights. I can do that. And having grown up around snow, this snowy cabin was one of my favorites to paint. I can't even say I was feeling much as I was painting them because I was really just replicating what Bob was showing me on the television. But I would like to see these leveled up to what the vision in my mind was when I painted them. These were supposed to look like that. So I'm going to upload these three images and I'm going to tell ChatGPT I was trying to copy Bob Ross's style, take my paintings and make them look like finished Bob Ross works instead. I know it's asking a lot of ChatGPT. Now, that is a majestic looking painting right there with happy little clouds, beautifully done trees. Those are trees the way I always wished that I had done them. Now, let's try this one, the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. Isn't that amazing? This truly was what was envisioned when I attempted to paint it. The cabin has definition. There's a light in the window. The Northern Lights actually don't look too far off from what I had done, but the rest of the scenery just looks so much better. Okay, let's try one more. This is the snowy cabin in the woods. It does have a cool sunset glow. Seeing this one makes me realize perhaps I did some things right. This is like, if you look at my painting, it's like you're squinting, it's kind of foggy, and then this is finely tuned. Now, again, these paintings were done decades ago, and AI has made them fresh for me. But what if we take some of the artwork that I have painted over the last year? Rather than do landscapes, I've tried some other things, some of them more abstract. For example, what do you think of this piece? Pretty abstract. Turned out interesting enough that we have it hanging on our wall, and nobody has said, what is that horrible, awful thing? Let's apply some real artistic standards to it, and let's ask ChatGPT to turn this into a critically acclaimed piece of modern art. We'll even add suitable for a museum. As it's doing this, one of the reasons I'm not a talented artist is because most artists feel their work. As I'm painting, I just want to create something, and I can't say that there's a lot of depth that is accompanying it other than what do I do with these colors, brushes, and canvas. I'm really curious to see what ChatGPT is going to come up with for this. Well, to be candid, I don't know that it's that different. Let's try something else. We're going to upload this city street scene Clearly, people are in the rain, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT to turn this piece of art into something Monet would have created. Wow. Now that is really different from what I painted. And you can clearly tell that one of them is up to my level of talent, the other not so much. Let's do this one. This is a piece that I don't know what I was thinking, but I will say that Erin laughed at it when she saw it. I think she thought it looked like a flag from Finland or something. And frankly, I think it's pretty horrible too. So let's take this general premise and ask ChatGPT to turn it into a piece of art that can truly be appreciated for its depth, themes, textures, and use of colors. I'm telling ChatGPT, you're the artist, make all the changes you want. Actually, when you look at it, it kind of looks like a little guy with his hands up and he's juggling balls. One of them fell to the floor. I gave you permission to do whatever you wanted with this, and this is the best you can do. It still looks a lot like mine. I definitely see some better blending of colors, and I don't know the right artistic terminology here to explain the technique that was used, but I do get a sense that there's actually technique involved here. This one here, I feel like it looks like it was painted by a 10-year-old. And so I'm telling ChatGPT that. And I'm asking it to make it look like it was created by a seasoned, recognized professional artist. Let's see what it comes up with. Almost looks like there's a little flying guy there in the upper right corner. I'm not a professional art critic, but everyone's a critic. And frankly, when I go to see contemporary and modern art these days, I wonder how people can consider many of these pieces worthy of hanging in a museum. And I know I'm not alone. What I really love is when you see people that are incredibly pretentious about it. Oh, I don't think you're looking at this properly. Have you seen the colors that he's using? I really feel like ChatGPT is failing at the task right here. Yes, it's probably better, but not much. On a recent episode, I showed you how to use Grok Imagine, and I think that this could be a good place to really bring this particular image to life. So let's go ahead and paste it here, and then I'm going to give it the same prompt that I did in ChatGPT. Now, this is not only going to turn it into an image, but it's going to make videos of this image, and I'm really interested to see what it does as it plays with this particular piece of, I don't want to call it art, paint on canvas. So this has actually created a video with audio that has this ethereal sound to it. As long as we're animating some, let's take my city rain image and go ahead and have Grok make a video of that too. But we're going to give it a similar prompt. We're just going to tell it, turn this into a Monet style painting and animate it. Wow. It failed at the assignment to turn it into a Monet style painting. It immediately turned it into something that is cartoony and not at all like what I originally painted. So that was fun. But here's the question. Did AI just make me better, or did it replace me completely? If I hang this on my wall, who painted it? Is this what we would call collaboration, or is it outsourcing? Would I be proud to hang the AI version in my house? Yes, I would. Would I tell people that I painted it, though? Well, that's complicated. So here's what this little experiment has taught me. AI can definitely enhance technique. It can simulate mastery, and it can definitely elevate the surface quality. But did I feel like Bob Ross or Monet? No. Did I have to work to practice to get better? No. I didn't have to go through the rigorous trials and patience one would do as an artist. So the moral is that maybe AI doesn't make you an artist, but it does give you the courage to try. Which one would you hang in your home? And don't say neither. I'd appreciate your comments. Go ahead and leave them below and make sure that you subscribe, like, and do comment on this video or podcast. Although I'll admit, if you're listening to this podcast, you're missing all the visuals. Please go over to aishow.io/YouTube, which is at aiforeveryone.show.com. And then you can actually see the visuals. Go ahead, be honest with me. I can take it. So, hope you've enjoyed this episode. I will catch you next time on AI for Everyone. See ya.